So if my advice so far hasn't been enough to make you see the light when it comes to resistance training and building muscle to create a fat burning machine, then hopefully this little visual aid of your total energy expenditure might be the light that you need. So your total energy expenditure is, in other words, the total amount of calories that you burn every single day is shown in this little chart here. So you can see that it's comprised of many different things with fancy acronyms. So I'm going to break that down and explain to you exactly what that means. And hopefully me explaining what this chart indicates will help you make better choices when it comes to food, help you see the importance of strength training, maybe highlight how cardio isn't the be-all and end-all for fat loss, and hopefully encourage you to lead a much more active lifestyle. We're going to start at the top, okay? We're going to work our way down. So the first one you can see on there is exercise. Now exercise only comprises about 5 to 10% of the amount of calories that you burn every single day, which is quite disheartening for those that love to go running, love to go to these CrossFit classes and boot camps and circuit classes, banging out kettlebell swings and wall balls and burpees until you're blue in the face or vomiting in the corner of the room. To know that it's only 5, maybe 10% of your total calories for that day is quite disheartening. But hopefully it now shows you why cardio as a tool for fat loss is futile. Now that might be quite surprising to you why it's so small, but when I talk about the others, hopefully that'll become much more understandable. Okay, so the next one down is TEF, so that's the thermal effect of food, and this is how many calories your body is using, how much calories your digestive system is using to break down the food that you're eating. So actually you're burning calories by eating calories, and you burn more calories depending on what food choices it is that you're making. And one of the biggest food types that you could eat to burn more calories is protein. Protein is incredibly good at raising the thermal effect and burning more calories just eating it, which is why I'm such a big advocate of a high protein diet, because not only is it good for obviously muscle repair, muscle growth, but also you burn calories eating it, and it's so filling. You can eat some high protein snacks and it will keep you fuller for longer, again reducing the amount of overall calories that you're going to consume throughout the day. And the next one down is NEAT, and this is the amount of activity that you're doing throughout the day. Maybe activity that you don't even realise you're doing, maybe sort of fidgeting or moving around in your chair, or just walking to the car, walking back from the car, going through your walks, playing with the children, washing the car, whatever it is. This is the amount of activity that you do and how many calories you burn doing it. So when it comes to this non-exercise activity, I'm very hot on all of my ladies in Level Up and all my clients doing their 10,000 steps a day. They can do their spin classes, they can do their boxing classes, they can go for their runs, and that's great. But the steps is a non-negotiable, because it, as you can see, comprises more of your total calories burnt throughout the day. But if we can start at 10,000 steps and work our way up, we can start to create and build healthier, more active lifestyles and habits that will hopefully see us burn more calories, burn more fat, and get the bodies that feel stronger, healthier, leaner, and get us feeling good about ourselves. So the steps is a non-negotiable. So BMR, the bottom one, stands for your basal metabolic rate, and this is how many calories you burn just by being alive. So if you were sat in a hospital bed, this is how many calories you'd burn just by lying there sedentary. This is your brain working, your heart working, your lungs, your liver. This is how much all of that burns just by being. Okay, so if we're going to take an approach to improve any of these areas, BMR should be our focus, right? Because if we can improve our BMR, that's 60 to 70% of the amount of calories that we burn a day. And one thing that we can do to help that is muscle mass. Muscle is a very active tissue, like I've said before in my videos, and the more muscle you have, the more calories you're going to burn at rest. So your BMR might not rocket upwards if you have more muscle mass, but you are going to burn more calories with more muscle when you perform your NEAT. When you're doing your 10,000 steps and you're performing your hopefully healthier, active lifestyles, you're going to burn so many more calories just by having more muscle in your frame. So rather than trying to affect that 5 to 10% exercise portion, go for the rest of it. increase your muscle mass, eat more protein, do your 10,000 steps. If you can do those 3 things, more muscle, more activity, protein-rich diet, you're taking care of like 90-95% of that graph. If you can do those 3 things, you're going to affect the bulk of that chart. If you can do anything extra, go for a run, do a spinning class, do a boot camp, do a boxing class. But those 3 things, non-negotiable. They're your fundamentals. That's a nice little bonus.